Family, welcome back to the channel. We picked up another PlayStation 4 at the car boot. I was told it was working, just overheating and shutting down, so I wasn't going to film it. I was just going to take it apart and clean it. But yeah, and then we found this. So run the intro and we'll take a look at it. Right, so here we go. Let me just slot this hard disk back in here. You can see it's covered in just some horrible stuff. Let's plug this in. Let's show you what it was doing. Didn't really want to plug it in again. Yeah, we plug it in. There you go. You hear the buttons, just 3 beeps. Probably not going to do it again now. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 beeps. Let's unplug it. So yeah, I mean, this is it's kind of like an honest seller that I got this off. I do trust him. And he said it was his nephew's. And he just said, yeah, fans were going really fast and it was shutting down. But yeah, you know, have got some dust and it's like there's a film on here. But yeah, I bought stuff from this guy in the past. I have already taken a couple of screws out because, like I say, I was just going to clean this out. I think I've left the bottom off, apart from that side. Yeah, so it was his nephew's. And it was just overheating. But we paid £30 for this. But I took the bottom off and just saw that. Liquid everywhere, if you can see that. Bit of Coca-Cola, bit of rust. You can see there's been something spilt on there. Sticky blob still, bit of rust on it. Underneath you can kind of like see where it's been and run. It's all over the back of here. Let's have a sniff. Can't smell anything. What about, should I taste it? No, not that bad. So yeah, so let's just strip this one down and we'll see what we've got. But what I'm going to do, we know this power supply is working because obviously, you know, it's beeping. It's obviously detecting a short or something in here and shutting itself down. So if this power supply is perfectly fine, which it sounds like it will be, that is going to go into that last PS4 that I repaired, because the power supply on that last PS4 still needs like the correct fuse put in there and stuff. So I'm going to use this one so I can sell the other one. Oh, where was I putting all these screws out? Up there. Right, so I'm just going to get this all apart, put it on a time lapse, and we'll see what it's like inside. And anything on this side? No, board looks pretty clean. We have got some rust around our USB ports, the HDMI port on the back. That's only surface. Yeah, see, look, that thermal paste in the middle, it's got bubbles on it again, like all the other ones I've done that overheat. It's like there's bubbles of water on there and just really wet. But you know, all this paste is pretty dry around the side. So yeah, it's like a weird thing that happens when it starts to overheat. It's like you get it's like you're getting a condensation on there almost. Right, so I'm going to put this aside, get the thermal paste off. I'm just going to give this, a clean out. You can see how much dust is clogged up in here. That is like thick black dust plus whatever has been spilt on it. And yeah, and the fan alone, it's like a carpet in there. Absolutely disgusting. I can't see any liquid damage in here. I think we got a little bit of liquid down in this, but that's not gonna, don't think that can get through. It's got a bit of rust on that bracket there. So let's give this all a good clean up, and we'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, I thought I'd quickly show you inside that fan there. Well, sorry, inside the heatsink, caked. Thought I'd show you this fan as well. It is mainly just in that middle bit. Yeah, it's not going to help. As I said, all I've literally done is wipe the dust off, because I didn't want to hide anything. If it was, if there was any leakage on the board, I didn't want to hide anything. I'm just having a quick look over. I can't really see anything. I'm probably going to have to get this under my microscope. But we've already, I just had a quick look around for any shorts, and it's all looking normal to me. The pins are looking a little corroded, but we've got 0.39, so that's not a short on there. And then we've got no shorts on that main power coming in. So there's no short on the 12 volt rail, but you have got like a milky, kind of like corrosion on stuff. I don't know if I clean them up. I've looked inside the ports quickly. The ports look nice and clean, even though we do have this rust. So yeah, even though we've got this rust on the top of here, inside the ports, actually looks okay. Mainly the HDMI one I'm worried about. But there might be a bit of corrosion in there, but there's certainly nothing shorting. Take this, just slide that shield off of there. So probably just going to get this under the microscope and just have a little look around, see if I can see any components that have got like this milky tarnish on them, see if there's any corrosion, and I'll come back if I find anything. Well, I've just been checking the power supply. That seems to be giving out the 12 volts, right? It's down on 11.9. I'm presuming that okay. I've just scratched these pins up a bit. I don't see, I would have thought that would be connecting absolutely fine, but I can't see anything on this board untowards. Everything seems to be checking out fine. Well, from the little knowledge I know, 0.29, these were the same on the other ones, 0.29, 0.29, yeah, and this one was 0.1 or something. Yeah, they're exactly the same as they were on the other board. 0.29, 0.4, 0.4. Can't see any damage on the board or anything. These ones up here are 0.1, that one's 0.04. Check the HDMI filters, they're fine. Fuses seem fine. So I'm not too sure, but I'm just gonna quickly just put this back in the board, in its box. What am I talking about? In the case. Just gonna put this back into the case to see if anything has changed at all. Yeah, I've not cleaned anything at all off of here. So I'm a little bit stumped at the minute. Some of these pins in here do look a bit tarnished. Don't know whether just to spray a bit of cleaner in there, bit of contact cleaner. Same with these, I've just sprayed a bit of contact cleaner and tried cleaning them off. They just looked a bit milky, a bit tarnished. Still do now. At the moment I can't see any spillage on the board or anything wrong with that. So let's just put it back together for a minute. So you can still see where there was liquid here. Right, I've just noticed there is some sticky stuff on top of here and here. So just going to take this little board off. Just see if there's any muck under here. Because this is obviously a standby and power switch. And yeah, it has got a load of coke and smush under there. That is really sticky. I don't know if you can see that, so I don't know whether that's got into that connector there or into this button that's shorting it. Not too sure. Not sure whether we can test this button to see if it's shorting out. That button seems permanently connected. Let's try and just bathe this in alcohol. Let's try and give this a good old clean out. Surely it can't just be that. Actually, what button? That is the eject button, isn't it? Is that the eject? I'm trying to think now of what way up this is. Yeah, that would be the eject button, wouldn't it? Actually, tell a lie, they're not shorted. There's a low resistance of 19 ohms. That's why it's beeping. Anything under 50 ohms, the meter will beep. So we press the button and it goes to 0. So don't think it was that. Yeah, false alarm maybe, false alarm. No, I just sprayed in there with alcohol. I'm just going to put this in a few times. Probably not that. But if we get the same problem, I might just disconnect that, see if that is a problem. I'll connect this up. I'm going to leave the Wi-Fi antenna disconnected for now. I don't know whether it needs it or not. We will soon find out. Let's just flick it over and see if it turns on. Oh. Put that in there, plug the plug in. What we got? Still got 3 beeps. So let me just disconnect that eject button. I've unplugged it. Now we'll plug it back in, see if we get anything different. No, still 3 beeps. Oh, we had a blue light then. Got a quick flash of blue light and a bit of fan spin for a second. So I don't know what that is. Okay, shut it down, rethink. Right, a little update on this PlayStation 4. I put it back together because I'd given up on it for now. I was just putting it back together so I didn't lose any pieces. I thought, oh, I'll plug it in. And it turned on. It turned on, it displayed on screen. I've put a disc in a disc drive. Came up with the game, read it, but then the disc drive was like clunking around a bit, and then it said it couldn't read the disc. So all I've literally done is take the power supply out, taken this off, check the disc, clean the lens, okay, put the power supply back in, and now I'm getting the same thing, but I'm not getting the free beeps anymore. So if I plug it in, and try and turn it on, takes a little while. Blue light, and then it just fades and goes out. Before, this was doing 3 slow beeps. I'm sure it was this one. So yeah, that's all I get now. Then it's dead. But it was on. It was on. It was working and reading discs. Well, started to load the game, but then it sounded like the laser couldn't move up and down. So this is very, very strange now. So maybe it has got something to do with the power supply and these tarnished pins. Let me get my other camera so I can just show you in here. Let's try with this camera. I have just sanded down that front one. The lights are going to be too bright in here. Yeah. Not sure how that's going to come out, but you can see they're tarnished. They're not shiny. So I have used a bit of like sandpaper on them, but it's hard to get into. I'm just going to use some of this metal polish now. Just going to put a dab of it on my cotton bud, and then just see if we can get the tarnish off here and give these a bit of a shine up. Probably would have been easier to do this out of the case. And now the power supply that is in here is that one I repaired in the last video. I've swapped the good working one out of here and I've put it in the other PlayStation that this came out of, and that's now, I've now sold that for £130. So this has got a good working power supply that I know in here. So it's not the pins in the power supply that are going to be tarnished. Now I did read somewhere or heard that tarnishing on the metal can affect like the conductivity of, you know, the electric, the amps and voltages, and I don't know if it'll affect voltages, but it'll certainly affect like currents and stuff flowing through it. And a lot of these solder joints in here as well are tarnished. Let's see how black, if you can see how black that is just from trying to shine these up. And they are looking a lot shinier. So they're looking nicer. So let's just plug this in again. Give them a little wiggle in there, just in case that hasn't got any bad contacts on it now. Right, let's just plug this in and see what happens. Right, back in again. Let's power it on. Ah, blue light and off again. Why is it doing that? Why did it work perfectly and now nothing? Makes no sense. It won't do anything now unless you unplug it. let the power drain out of it. Let's try plugging it back in again. And nothing. That is just so weird. So weird how it turned on, booted up fine, went straight to a white light, had everything on screen. And now nothing. Let's try to hold my finger on a button, just wait for it to kick back in. No, you can't even hold your finger on it, it goes straight out again. Right, so that's where we're up to now. I'll come back to you if I find out any more. Right, I've put this all back together properly now, and it's decided it's going to work. So let me just plug this in. Now it probably won't work. Let me plug it in and flip it over. Blue light staying on now. Let me plug in the HDMI. I've actually played on this for hours now. I've turned it off, turned it on, turned it off, turned it on. You know, it's fine. Here comes the white light. Why'd that beep 3 times? There's a white light, and I'm sure you can hear that it's just come on the TV. Why is that beeping 3 times? I'm sure there is something wrong with this eject button still. It hasn't been doing that while I've been playing with it. Honestly. And the way that's still beeping, that's maybe the whole problem with it, is that filthy eject button. Let's just connect the controller up to this so it's all syncing. You know, I'm logged in there. I've been playing like Battlegrounds like loads. I've had my FIFA in there. It's reading this. It's all working perfectly. Let me just start this up to show you. I'll time lapse this so you can just see it working. You haven't got to watch me. Right, so there, as you can see from that time lapse, it is working fine. It's working okay. I've had a disc in there, loaded it up, that's working. It's just that odd. It wasn't doing that before, those 3 beeps, and now it's like doing it as if the eject button is being pressed every now and again. You'll just get that. I mean, there is still a bit of liquid on here. So I'm not sure what the problem with this one was. It could be that it was just liquid damaged. Like that board we cleaned, the one on the back that has got the eject board on there. I think I'm going to take that off again and just give that a soak in some IPA. I'm not going to sell this one yet until it's been like cleaned and tested thoroughly. You know, I think it's definitely been overheating, definitely the dust clearing it out, and presumably just getting rid of that liquid damage. Right, we'll leave that one there. Not sure what the problem was with this. I mean, if you've heard those 3 slow beeps before, I'll play it again. If you've heard the PlayStation do that before, or if you know what that problem is and why it does that, then please let me know. Leave it in the comments down below. I'm not quite sure what has fixed this, whether it's just cleaning the corrosion off those pins, cleaning some of the liquid damage off the board, but we did that and it didn't boot up. But now for some reason it is booting up, working every time. I've played it for hours. I just don't know the real cause for the failure on this one. It just started working when it felt like it. And obviously we're still getting those 3 beeps now and again, the fast beeps, which is like the eject button's being pressed. And that was caked in liquid. So hopefully I'm going to give that another clean. I'm going to take it, strip it down again, give the board a good thorough clean. Then hopefully that will fix all the issues with this one. So once I've done that, if I've got any problems with that, I'll add it on to the end of this video. But if it's working okay, then I won't bother. It's just going to get a good old clean. So I hope you liked this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We didn't find the real cause, but please give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you will receive a notification when I upload more videos. And then hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.